everybody. This week we have Doug Donnelly on, good friend of mine for a long time, practically like a brother.
Yeah.
Doug, give me a little explanation of what you do for a living.
I'm a location operator for Little Debbie. Technically, I work for my sister who has a contracted route through some other people who have a contract with the bakery.
Yeah.
So I'm my sister's employee, and she's got an extra route that I work off a truck.
So basically, you're a wholesaler. Is what you're doing is you're getting the product in and you're delivering it to them for
right. What they do is they
amount.
front us cake. We make an order, they front us the cake, and we sell it, and we make a little profit off of it, and everybody gets their little percent, and
So typically, how many stores do you have to visit in a typical run?
Let's see. I have 5 grocery stores that I go to. One of them I go to once a week. 4 of them I go to 3 times a week.
Damn.
Other than that, I have probably about 10 or 12, I would say close to 15 other stops that I go to.
Yeah.
They're like little cash stops, like little mom and pop stops that like I go and I sell them like little snack cakes and they give me cash for it.
Oh, okay.
And then other like speedways and sheets and like gas stations and stuff like that. That's all central billing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how long have you been doing this for?
Not very long, honestly. I started back in, I would say, May.
Okay.
April, May, somewhere around there.
And how did you get started?
So my sister basically hit me up one day, and probably a year ago around this time, and she told me at first that, I should come up for the summer and work for her and see how it is.
Yeah.
And eventually, a couple weeks later, she actually called me and she was like, "Hey, I actually have a whole nother route.
Yeah.
Would you like to come work for me?" And I saw that as an opportunity to kind of get out of Binghamton, fresh out of high school, and kind of try to, I don't know, just
make something for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you have any advice for anybody wanting to get into this? How could they start? Do they need to know somebody or?
Yeah, it's kind of, you need to know somebody.
Yeah.
Or, you can come up with a little bit of money to get your own contracted route, but you got to work in getting your LLC. You got to get a truck so you can run the cake. You have to have a storage unit they drop the cake off of. And that's all just, more expenses. So
yeah.
There's a lot of responsibility when it comes to like having contracted routes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, my best opinion, or my best, like, I don't know, what's the word there?
Advice, yeah.
Yeah, the advice I would give is look for somebody that has a contracted route and see if they need help.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get a foot in the door.
And that's almost too like, it's kind of like an apprenticeship, right? Because you how did you do it? Well, like when you first started, you probably went along with your sister, right?
Yeah, for the first 2-3 weeks, I was just running with her, getting up early, getting on that routine of waking up early because, before I was working at the Beef and it was most of the time night shifts. So
yeah.
Getting out, like 11:30.
It's probably
12.
crazy, like trying to switch your whole sleeping schedule like that.
It was really hard, but I did it.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah,
and now you're into something that you enjoy.
All right.
So I mean, and so the people don't know this, but you had to move for this job. Mm-hmm. You had to move to
about 590 miles, something like that.
Yeah,
North
which
Carolina.
is crazy because you had lived here for how long? Like 6 years. 6 years.
6
yeah.
years.
So how was it to move? Like what went into that? What was the decision making behind that? Was it solely like you heard the job and you're like, I need a job, and you did it, or was there more that played into it?
It was kind of like that. I was kind of depressed, man. Binghamton's like a depression hole. It just sucks you into this like I don't know, man. I had to get out of here, I felt like, and for me it was the best decision.
Yeah.
For right now.
Yeah.
Just, trying to grow up a little bit, trying to
you got to do that.
Self-establish, be more independent. And
independence, I think, is really where you find who your true self is.
Right.
And it's not even just independence as in like being completely alone. No, I don't think that's the case. I think it's just getting away from your family and getting away from your friends and all that. I mean, even if you're with somebody else, you're with your girlfriend or something, you're still on your own kind of figuring out who you guys are. You're working towards being who you truly are.
But what the cool thing about that is we are doing that separately, but we're doing it together at the same time. You know,
and I think that's great too, because it's a support system.
Right, it is. Very much so, yeah.
Because doing things alone is very nerve-wracking. Right. I feel, especially something as big as that.
Right.
So my question with that is how has moving away affected your relationships with people that
with
you moved away from, or you moved towards?
So I'll start off talking about like my relationship with my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
My sister Anna, who I currently live 5 minutes away from, she moved out of the house when I was in like fourth or fifth grade, honestly, to go to college.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to reconnect with her, you know what I mean? And just fool around, laugh at each other, joke with each other, and it's just awesome.
That's got to be good.
I got 2 other siblings that one just moved from Charlotte to Wilmington for a job, and the other one already had lived in Wilmington, brother and a sister, Todd and Chelsea.
Nice.
I go see them every now and then. Yeah, it's nice. It's
That's
really
good.
nice being close to everybody.
That is good.
Like, yeah.
Family is important. You should
Always.
be with family.
Yeah,
yes.
Keep family first.
Yeah.
100%. But relationships with people that I left, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Yeah.
I miss everybody so much, like you guys and camp, bro. Like, just I miss everything, man.
Yeah. Well, we had some good times together.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did, for sure.
Well, we're still gonna have a lot of good times together.
Oh, yeah,
but it's
100%.
just it's different dynamic now. The whole
we gotta fit
the gap in things.
A lot of fun into a little bit of time.
And that's not always a bad thing, because you really you look forward to something. You're like, oh well, Doug's coming up for a week. What am I gonna do?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
About him a lot. He's been very excited.
Yeah.
We've been so excited.
Yeah, I've been itching to see you guys.
Yeah.
I missed you guys. It's not the same without you guys here. I remember the last time we did camp, I don't want to say I got emotional, but everyone was, you remember the conversation of once you guys move, everything's going to change. And it did, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just nothing lasts forever. And realizing that and taking that in is a lot. It's nerve-wracking, like, especially for us. We're about to be 21 years old. Like, we just got out of our childhood like a few years ago. Like, right. we graduated high school, we're in college, or maybe not in college, but working in your case.
And sorry to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine.
I think that had something to play also with me moving as well.
Yeah.
Doing that was stepping away from me being like a high school kid.
Yeah.
Doing this whole move is like, to me, it's a step closer to becoming like an adult, like a man.
And it's proving to yourself that you can do it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. No. I mean, so how are you doing now? How's work going from when you first started to now?
Can we cut real quick?
Yeah, of course.
I gotta go put a sweatshirt on.
You're good. So we had to take a little intermission, throw some sweatshirts on. It is fucking cold down here, so had to happen. But getting right back into it. So, Doug, we were talking about you moving, right? And it has obviously affected you mentally, physically, and emotionally, I guess. I guess that goes in mentally. But,
yeah.
How did you cope with that? How did you cope? I mean, having your girlfriend there has probably helped a lot.
Right. I actually spent probably 2 or 3 months there without her. And that was...
I remember that, yeah.
That was kind of hard for me, just being without her, but it helped me a lot with coping with the move, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was always with my sister.
Yeah.
And because I lived with them for that couple months. And it was a reconnecting time for us, and it got my mind off a whole lot of things, like up here and stuff like that. So that helped a lot, just being with my sister and staying with them.
And that's a very healthy thing, too, I think. I mean... Definitely, it's good to have your girlfriend around, but being able to do that and connect with your sister and, not have to worry about, am I spending enough time with Paige, or, am I spending enough time with my sister? Like, you actually get to focus on reconnecting and stuff, and I think that's good.
That was part of me coping. The other part was, just actually moving out and the excitement of getting your own place is really awesome.
Yeah.
Man. It's there's nothing like it. It's like, like you got a new car, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, you might think it might be because getting that car was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
no, I know that. Like once you move out, it's a whole different
like,
dynamic.
Damn, bro, I got this whole space to myself, and we got a little 1-bedroom apartment. It's not even that big, but it's like that's our spot right now. You know what I mean? We're paying for it.
Yeah, that's all, and it's awesome to think about that you're doing it.
Right.
You're contributing to society in a manner that you're able to live on your own, and for me, I always worry, like, am I going to figure out how to make money? Am I going to be able to have a living? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? Or am I just going to be some bum? And I don't want to be a bum,
Mm-hmm.
And I have plans to do what I'm, to make money and have a living.
Right.
But it's definitely, it weighs on your mind until it happens.
Right.
Did you have the same kind of feeling? Like, am I going to be able to do this?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, in the matter that, like, it's the first time moving out, so I do have my doubts and, like, like, am I gonna be able to pay rent every single month?
Yeah.
Am I gonna be able to have my expenses covered every month and be able to do this?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like, now that it's me and Paige living together, she's got 2 jobs. She works 2 part-time jobs, and I'm working a full-time job right now, doing the Little Debbie stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not really that much of a struggle for us, especially down south. Rent's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
The cost of living is pretty cheap. So, but at the same time, I feel like if something were to really happen crazy, where, like, none of us are making money or something like that, I feel like my sister would help us out a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, she would obviously open her door up probably. And let us stay there.
So have you had any hardships?
Not really, man.
No, pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, we've been.
That's good.
Smooth sailing, yeah. Saving
That's good.
our money and paying for rent.
Yeah.
We don't go out a whole lot. We don't know a whole lot of people down south, so we stay home. Watch Hulu, watch Netflix. Sit on our phones. I play Xbox.
Yeah.
We just chill together at home with our cat Zero.
Yeah. I miss Zero. Son is a legend.
Yeah.
Son is a
He's
legend.
staying at our sister's
how old
right
is
now.
Zero?
He's
2?
2 or 3.
Oh, so he's like Oliver's age.
Yeah, my cat.
He's getting real big, man. I've been getting too heavy-handed on the treats.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it just shows you love him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any advice for people that want to move away, or
Do it, man.
how like what's the
Seriously.
first thing that they should do if they're considering moving away?
It depends. Like, if you're planning on moving out of Binghamton, out of New York, you need to find a job first.
Yeah.
Don't just leave, man.
Don't just expect to go down
Yeah.
there and have something.
Find a job. Get one lined up. Get something lined up. It's nice if you have, like I did, like, family where I was staying at, so
Yeah.
I could stay with them for a little bit while I was saving money for my apartment. But what I would say is save money first up here for, down payments, first month's rent, whatever.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a job lined up and get out of here as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Because
if you don't, I feel you're going to really second guess yourself.
and you're going to get sucked into this hole of Binghamton.
Yeah.
Binghamton is not the place to be, man. It's not the place to be for people our age. It's just not. It's not booming like that.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I don't even think that it's not like a good place to be. I just think, for us living here and we grew up here, it's good. And like you had said earlier, leaving is what helps you find who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can always come back. Like, this is always going to be a home of yours.
Right,
like,
right.
you have 2 homes, I guess you could say, because you grew up in North Carolina and then you came here. But like, you always have this place to come back to. You know what it's like, and everything. But I definitely think that it's healthy and you should go out and explore other places.
It's that step from coming out of high school, man. And
Yeah.
It's an important step too. It's finding who you are. It's independence. Even
Yeah.
if you don't move out of Binghamton and you just want to get out of your parents' house, like, do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's nothing against my parents. I love my parents. I loved living
Yeah.
with them. It's not like, I wanted to get out of here for that reason.
Yeah.
It's just that I needed independence. You know what I mean? And
Being able to do what you want when you want.
Right, and it's a great thing to have.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I mean, within the next few years, I'm sure I'll be moving out too. So
Right.
once I get my life rolling and everything.
And, everybody's on different paths. Like, everybody's doing different things right now. So it's not like if you don't move out, you're stupid. No.
Yeah.
Like, if you need time, take time. But I'm telling you, getting that independence is nice.
Yeah, what people don't realize is, like, we're 20, about to be, 21 years old. Like, for us thinking about that, like, we should have our own place. We should be working. We should be doing this. A lot of people don't even graduate college until they're, 24, 25. Right. I mean, it happens. And, I mean, the way that I've always thought about it, my dad has never had problems with me living here. Like, I've always, I'm very respectful of my family, of my dad, and it's not like I come in and I cause a bunch of problems, but I most definitely agree. Like, I'd love to live on my own and be able to have my friends over whenever I want to have them over, do whatever I want, be as loud as I want whenever I want, walk around the house naked if I want, it's whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that comes with time. Each person's different. Like you said, your goals and your aspirations and what you're striving for are all different.
And the most important thing is that everybody hits that goal, man.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. It can be short-term, long-term. As long as you hit it, you did it, bro.
Yeah.
More power to you, honestly.
Exactly.
Whether your goal is to save up a bunch of money or to move out as soon as you get out of high school like I did.
Yeah.
Whatever that goal is, as long as you do it, man.
And that was what was so... I don't know if inspiring is the word, but it is inspiring. Like when you moved, you moved pretty much straight out of high school. You stayed for a little while, but I mean, you built up your money, but really, you didn't go to college, you didn't do all that, and you don't need to do that. You don't need to. That's what people don't realize, is that there's jobs nowadays that you don't need to go to college for. Mm-hmm. College is starting to become this. I don't want to say cult, but it's almost like a cultural cult. Like, if you don't go to college, you must be stupid.
Well,
that's just not true.
Well, here's the thing. College would be good for people. I'm trying to...
College is good for people that know what they want to do, and, they want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something. Right. But, the way that college was projected to me is, if you want to make money, you got to go to college. If you want to be able to live your life and have things that you want and not just, go paycheck to paycheck, you need to go to college. But what people don't realize is a lot of these college educations, you can go in and you could spend $100,000 to get that education, and it'll take you 10 years to find a job. Mm-hmm. That's what people don't realize. It's not a guaranteed job just from going to college.
My sister went to college to be an athletic trainer, and before she graduated college, she was a manager at a Family Dollar, making more money than what she would be doing. Yeah. So she was like, I'm just going to stay in retail. And then she moved on to doing Little Debbie as a, what's the word there?
Like a side hustle?
No, it's, what's her job title? I'm trying to think of her job title. I don't know. You can just skip all that.
That's all right. So let's move on. Let's talk about religion. I don't want to get too into religion, but
me either.
We're spiritual. We're more spiritual, you and I. I wouldn't say that you and I mean, personally, I was raised in a Protestant family, but we never went to church. We went to church on Christmas Eve or something, but it wasn't all that common of an occurrence to go to church, right? My dad has said several times to me that, home worship is just as good as going to a church and worshiping. There's no difference. And that's, in my eyes, it makes sense.
I believe that church consists of one or two more people talking about God or reading the Bible together, studying the Bible together. That's all church is. Yeah. And people think that you have to go to this foundation, this place, and that's church. No. Yeah. You can have church anywhere. Yeah. And that, I mean, that can be with any religion, not just Christianity. Yeah.
So what do you believe in, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot here. Yeah. I believe in God. I do. I don't necessarily believe in. I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this. I don't believe what the Bible says to be 100% correct at all.
I agree with you.
God didn't write the Bible. People wrote the Bible about God. You know.
And what people don't realize is the Bible was written in a foreign language.
Right.
And it's been translated multiple times over time.
Hundreds and thousands of times.
Hundreds of times.
And there's parts of the Bible that are missing, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah.
You know, that people can't inscript. They don't know how to read because it's not in, you know, our modern language.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't necessarily believe the Bible to be 100% true, but I do believe in God, you know.
Yeah.
And I do believe in science too. Like I think there was a Big Bang Theory, and I think that was God. You know,
Yeah.
At first there was light, bang.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, have you ever heard of Russell Targ?
No.
Russell Targ is this guy. He worked for the CIA. He's a physicist. I can't remember what kind of physicist he is, but he worked with the CIA, and they were studying ESP, telepathy.
Okay.
I'm going to cut that story short and say that they found that exists, okay?
Shit.
That ESP is 100% a real thing, and he goes on to tell a story about this police officer that he knew. He was like the police chief or something, and he had ESP, and they were brought to this crime, not the crime scene, but they were brought to another detective's case, right? And it was about this girl that had been kidnapped, or whoever it was that had been kidnapped, and they were asking the police officer that had ESP questions about the person, and they were like, you know, can you explain what car took her? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. I can also tell you where the car is. And they're like, what? And he literally goes in, he explains the car in full detail. He explains the location in full detail. And one of the other police officers says, you know, that what you just explained, there's a gas station or a diner like that, just right by my house, like 5 miles down the road. They went, found the car, parked there at the exact place that he had described, and they found like items from the kidnapping in the car.
That's crazy, man.
And Russell Targ himself also knows ESP or is ESP inclined,
right.
And he also had a story that he told about that.
Wow.
But so what I'm getting at there is there's a connection within the universe, right?
Right.
If that's true, and all the guy had to say to the guy was, this person was kidnapped, here's their name, and he was able to go, I know where the car is and all this and that. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know this person, right? So if you're able to do that, there's got to be some sort of connection. And I saw this theory that the Big Bang, that what we live in is our consciousness is thought, and that's what keeps things alive, expanding, learning, that kind of thing. Right. Think of the universe as a thought. The Big Bang was a thought. It didn't just happen from nothing, right. You know? Something triggered that. But if there's nothing to trigger that, how could it be triggered? The only thing that can be triggered without an actual thing happening is consciousness, a thought.
Conscious. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? For a higher power, even if it's, and I don't want to say, I say God because that's what I think of a higher power. I say God, right? Mm-hmm. But any kind of higher power, if anything has a thought or a consciousness or something happened, something had to initiate this Big Bang. You know,
it couldn't have just happened.
It doesn't just shit doesn't just happen.
No.
You know,
no.
If you think about physics and and science, this is science. You think about the theories and the laws behind physics. You know, an action has an equal and opposite reaction. Always. Energy can never be created nor destroyed.
Right.
So for a Big Bang just to happen and all that energy is created,
something
that goes against the theory of the main principle of physics,
right?
Which doesn't make any sense. But something that also goes against the theory of physics is your thoughts. You can think of something without even being inclined to think of something. Like right now, I just thought of a cat playing with a hula hoop.
Okay.
It has, you know what I'm saying? Like I could just think of whatever.
How's he playing with it though?
He's just kind of, you know.
Oh, he's like actually hula hooping?
Yeah, he's hula hooping. He's got his arms up.
I never had the hips for that. I couldn't.
Really, you couldn't hula hoop?
Nah.
I've always been nice at hula hooping.
You know what I mean?
You ever seen those girls that do like roll it around their body?
I did. I saw Tom's River in New Jersey. I went there. There's like a boardwalk. It's where they shot Jersey Shore at.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there was a chick doing some crazy stuff like that,
Yeah.
lit it on fire and everything. I was like, yeah, that's wild.
You know, there's always one girl in your grade that will turn out to be the hula hoop girl.
Really, who do you think it is in our grade?
That's a good question. I don't even know. Devin Tracy.
Oh, I would probably say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, you know, the free-spirited type that would try some stuff like that.
You know, she hates me now for some reason.
Really?
I have no clue. But
No, I never talked to her really after like 8th grade.
we were like best friends in middle school, and then, you know, whatever happened, and now she doesn't like me, I guess.
Oh, you know.
So, but it's like that. I mean, it's not causing
Life is life,
any trouble. But yeah. So, how do you think morals tie into like your beliefs?
So real quick, let's get the difference between spirituality and religion out of the way, because there is a big difference. Religion is more of a man saying this is what God is saying, or this is what this power is saying, whatever religion. It doesn't have to be Christianity, like I said. Spirituality is you yourself connecting with the world and connecting to whatever you believe this higher power or God, in my opinion, is.
Mm-hmm.
And spirituality isn't something that happens from going to church. It's not anything like that. It's your connection, your own connection with God. I'm just going to use God as an example because that's my connection.
Yeah,
okay?
that's higher power, like
Right.
I was saying, yeah.
So religion is going to church and people saying, hey, you need to pay tithes. If you don't pay tithes, we won't keep this church up.
Yeah.
Why do you need the church up?
Yeah.
You know, why can't we all meet at somebody's house?
Yeah.
Why are people making money off of having a church?
Yeah.
That's what religion is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to people having power and people saying what is right and what is wrong, people don't matter.
Yeah.
People don't matter at all. The only thing that matters is God and that connection between you and God.
Yeah.
What was that question you were asking me? Sorry.
Oh,
Morals, right?
Yeah. How does your morals tie in?
I believe that morals tie into how close you are to God. Honestly, if you're not very close to God and you don't have a relationship, or again, I'm not just talking about Christianity. I'm using God as an example because that's what I believe in. It can be any religion at all. If you have that relationship, then your morals will be good because you will not break that. You won't break that trust.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's not a trust between you and a pastor. It's a trust between you and God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something to where if you break it, you know you're guilty, and God knows you're guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So morals just tie into being a good human being and doing what you believe is right.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody has different opinions. So one person can think something is right and one person can think something else is right.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, I believe in if you truly feel like that's right, it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. It's right.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't know, man. Morals can be tricky because people can think morals. People can think. I would say you had a bad moral if you said, I don't know. I believe in. I'm trying to think here. Like I believe in hunting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in shooting a deer and just leaving the carcass. You know,
just to shoot it for fun.
just to shoot it.
Yeah.
I would say that's a bad moral, but maybe some tribes do it to help. I don't know, other animals. I don't know. I'm just saying, like.
I see what you're saying. Like, depending on the situation,
Right.
it can be viewed differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's important. You know, a topic in the past too has been culture shaming,
Mm-hmm.
and like for example, people that eat the I think it's a Hispanic thing where they eat the intestines. They like boil the intestines. It's called something. You know what I'm talking about?
Intestines of what though?
I think it's like cow intestines. Or is it pig intestines?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What is that?
Haggis?
It might be haggis. It's
Haggis is Scottish.
okay. So either way, right? To us, that's weird.
Right.
But to them, like, that's normal. You know, so like I could see where morals in different places would be different. You know, in Antarctica, if you're one of the Eskimos or something, you're definitely gonna have different morals than somebody that lives in New York City.
Right, exactly.
You know, you're gonna appreciate
everybody
life
should
and
have
all that
basic
kind of
morals.
stuff.
I'm not gonna kill you because that's wrong. Like,
and you know, I think that should stem from your parents. That's the foundation. You know, those are the things that you need to learn from a young age.
and what else? And common sense comes from parenting too.
Yeah.
People feel like, you know, there's dumb people out there that don't have any common sense. Well, what was their childhood like? You know what I mean? Did they have figures? Did they have a mother figure? Did they have a father figure? Where were they staying? You know, did they have that? Now, did they have somebody that had that knowledge to help them understand common sense?
Yeah.
Because common sense, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't even get it.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes I do stupid shit for no reason. I'm like, why did I just do that? Why did I just do that? That made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. I do that too.
But I mean, it's just, I feel like you learn that from your parents as well. You learn tricks and stuff like that. Like, and that helps with moving out and stuff like that. Learning how to keep a house clean, learning how to do your laundry, stupid shit like that. Learn how to do the dishes. You know, you need somebody in your life to teach you some stuff like that.
Yeah. So, one of my questions for you is, with religion, it can be very sensitive, right? A lot of people say, you know, like with Christianity, for example, and Catholicism about gay marriage and that kind of stuff, you know, and they say that's not what God would want. I think that ties in when we were talking earlier about how people they change and they interpret things differently. And me and Grace have talked about it before. You know, a religion that makes you hate another person or another type of person or who they are for who they are, I don't think that's that's something you should be following.
It puts a bad name on God.
And you know,
it makes people hate God.
And
because
I think
of religion.
too, and I have done a little bit of research on Gomorrah and whatever, the two cities that supposedly God shot up into the sky and threw down on the ground because they were sinning and having gay sex and all that kind of stuff.
Before. Was this in the Bible?
It was in the Bible. It was Gomorrah and Tara or whatever. The names change. It's in the book of Genesis is where it's from.
Oh, okay.
The fact that people would say that, oh, it's because they were having gay sex, that's not true. It depends on the interpretation of it, right? In the Bible, it says because they were sinning. Like that's the main thing is they were sinning and they were something else. But there's different theories on it. Like one is yes, they were sinning, but they were very mean to travelers. Like they would kick people out and like they weren't nice to each other and they were always fighting and this kind of stuff. They just had bad morals, for example, maybe. I don't think that. You hear that, and I don't think that it's wrong to believe in a religion, even if, that religion says that, because you might not personally believe in that. You might think that was misinterpreted, How do you feel about that? Like, what do you think about that? Do you think that it's...
I don't believe God would smite anybody, or any city, anything. He gave us free will. Eve decided to eat off the life of tree, and that was one of God's rules, in the Bible. That was one of God's rules not to do, but that gave us free will and opened up temptation and other things that we wouldn't have to deal with, but I mean, we did get free will.
Yeah.
And that's something that is always with us. God's not gonna smite thee because like you did something wrong. You have that free will.
Yeah.
And what matters is, in the end, what's your relationship with God like? Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Do you have any type of relationship with him? Do you know him? Do you do you talk to him?
Yeah.
And to me, that's all I think it takes to get in the heavens. Have that relationship. Talk to him every now and then. Sit down and converse with yourself. Think to yourself. Like, have a mental second. Talk to God a little bit if you feel like it, read the Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I read the Bible every now and then. It's not. I don't do it every single day. I don't claim to be a huge Christian or know anything about the Bible for that matter. I just have my strong opinions on religion and spirituality.
Yeah. So, there are definitely one of the reasons why people really strongly believe in the Bible or the Torah or the Quran, for example, is a lot of these religions have a lot of similarities among them. Mm-hmm. It's just little things that switch and why they're different. But those cities that I had referenced earlier, like those are mentioned in the Torah, the Bible,
Really?
The Quran. It's all mentioned because it was those two cities were like one of the most striving cities. They're the top cities of biblical time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about it? Does that make it real? The fact that there are these similarities, or how do you think that happened?
I don't think it technically makes it real.
Yeah.
I think what makes it real is if you believe or not.
Yeah.
That's all.
But you know what I'm saying though, like all these books are written around different times, right? I mean, maybe they're written around the same time, but
then wasn't the Bible technically the first one? So what if everybody just copied the Bible?
I don't know. See, I don't know that, because what is the first religion? We don't know. There could be a religion. The first religion could be a religion that we don't even know exists today.
I don't think it's Christianity because that came.
Grace, you should be our Jamie.
Wasn't he Jewish? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think Judaism was the first one. Technically, if you
really-
follow the Bible,
I really
right?
don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah.
He was.
But you know what I'm saying though? Like there could be like during biblical times. What did they believe in during biblical times before Jesus came? If that's what happened, what did they believe in? You know what I'm saying? Like, did just nobody believed in a higher power? I find that hard to believe.
Right. Man, that's crazy. That's a crazy thought, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's making me think about everything right now.
You know what I'm saying
Yeah.
though? Like we don't know.
You don't.
And
Hinduism.
and that Hinduism was the first. That's the oldest.
What's that? Like India?
The world's oldest.
Yeah, Hinduism. That's like
They have the most gods, I believe, too, right?
yeah, the Hinduism, they have multiple different gods that
Vishnu.
war.
I think
Vishnu
there's, like-
and,
4,000 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
4,000 years old.
but even then though, like maybe there's one before that. We don't know. I mean, how long have people been on Earth?
Really fucking long.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
I mean,
Way too fucking
shoot, we
long.
should have kept our Earth science things from 10th grade. It shows us those
that's true.
little, like, what was the first species on Earth
Yeah.
and, like, the timeline of Earth, pretty much.
Yeah.
We should have kept that.
That's the other thing too is like how did evolution happen?
Yeah.
Like how did we get to where we are today? If evolution, the theory of evolution is true.
Are you saying how would I tie that into if God is real or not?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like how like does that make sense? I mean, it makes sense because like what else could you there's no other explanation, right?
Mhm. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know. I mean, evolution is one of those things that I have tons of questions about, and it's not something I would, question my belief in God about. It's just something I have questions about.
No, I agree 100%.
Because what if like the first descendants of humans are what God made them to be, and we just
changed.
Yeah.
And maybe evolution is just as simple as it was taught in schools. It just happens over time.
Right,
It just
maybe.
happens. But
then how would you like? I don't know. Man, this world is crazy, bro.
yeah.
Do you ever get that thought of thinking about like how small the world is compared to the whole universe, and then you feel like you're just like kind of like floating on Earth, like. And just, like,
Donnie showed me a
oh,
video in
shit.
the kitchen the other day.
I miss Donnie. How's Donnie doing?
Oh, he's good. He's doing good.
How's
I told
Moosey?
everyone that you said hi. I haven't seen Moose in a while.
What about Cal?
I saw Calvin yesterday.
Nice.
I told them you said hello. But
You're like, fuck
but
it.
Donnie was showing us a video of like the relative size of like planets and solar systems and everything.
That
It's
shit's
astronomical.
That's
And
crazy.
now we're hearing all this stuff about aliens and aliens being real.
Yep.
And the Space Force.
Notice how they did all that shit like when the coronavirus was here. So it's like
so that's one of
they're
the
dragging us
theories.
away
That's
from
one of the
that shit.
theories. I don't want to get too into conspiracies,
Okay.
but one of the theories is that the coronavirus is not as crazy as what it's being projected as. You know, like if you look at the statistics, it has a 99.8
99.97, right?
% survival rating, right? I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a real thing and it's deadly. But looking at the numbers, that's what it is. And it's a theory that the reason we're in this lockdown and we've been in this lockdown for so long is because they want to prove to the Galactic Federation that Earth is capable of listening to a higher power, to listening to the governments. And if you had heard Joe Biden's comment the other day, I think it was yesterday, he made a comment about how he wants one world power. He wants to have one leader.
Huh?
Yes. He was talking about how he wants
Wait.
a unified one world union. That would explain, you know, if one person is talking to
Like-
the higher beings.
Like a motherfucker like Genghis Khan?
Kinda, yeah.
I just did a project on him.
Oh, word.
And but yeah, I mean, everyone blew up at Trump when he initiated this Space Force. And now this ex-Israeli
Space Force has
guy
always been a thing, though. Even before.
But now there's this ex-Israeli guy that came out and said that aliens are most definitely real, and the higher world governments know about it. They've known about it for a while.
Our government came out with it back in like October.
Well, we have
before that.
Our government has a patent for a flying saucer.
Oh.
So, but it would explain why to us it seemed so foreign. Like, why the fuck is this guy like sending people up into space to fight wars? It kind of makes sense now. Like, if it is true and he did know about it, that would make sense.
I wouldn't want to fight the motherfuckers.
But I don't even think it's maybe I don't know. If there's a galactic federation, that means that there is galactic war, right? Because they're unifying for a reason.
But wouldn't we want to stay away from that? Wouldn't we want to?
I think.
Wouldn't we want to first study them and see?
But that's the thing is, from what I had read, is that the aliens have been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They've been here since like the '60s. I think was like when we went to the moon. That was when we had our first interaction with them, really on a federal level. And you know, there's people talking about the 4 species of aliens that there are, and their connections with people and all that kind of thing.
Watched a Rogan podcast, and there was somebody on there. There was 2 people on there talking about aliens, and like this one story about like an African school, or I think it was an African school, maybe an Indian school, that like there was a saucer that landed, and something 15, 20 years later, this guy went and interviewed all these people, and they all had the same exact like description.
You ever watched Skinwalker Ranch?
No, I don't believe so.
We watched that. That's about this town that has like all these paranormal things that happen in it, and there's been like several people. There's been like several people that have claimed that they've seen UFOs or that they've been abducted.
Seen skinwalkers and like shit like that. I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's a podcast?
No, it's like a Netflix series or whatever.
Oh, damn,
It's a
we should
TV
watch
show,
that,
yeah.
dude. Sounds interesting.
It's interesting.
Watch it and you wouldn't watch it.
It can be a little boring, but it is interesting, you know. And personally, I've always believed that there was aliens. If you think that this ever-expanding universe that was created from nothing, which already created intelligent life, and something that just happens can't create intelligent life, but that just goes back to it being actually done. You got to be crazy. You got to be absolutely insane to think that there isn't another planet out there somewhere, or another galaxy out there with life in it.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. You'd be insane.
You'd be insane.
Yeah.
Like you are in a shell, and you probably shouldn't come out of it if you really think that there's no aliens anywhere. Like that's what there's an alien somewhere, you know, millions of light years away, and they're like, you know, I wonder if there's aliens, and then we're having the same conversation, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's aliens, and I think that if what we're seeing keeps continuing, we might even see aliens within the next 10, 20 years. Like they might be an actual thing.
I could get really deep into this, but I don't know if we should, man. Like I could get really deep into this.
Yeah. Well, you know, Doug, we might have to save it.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should save that for another topic.
When we come down to visit you guys,
right?
Well, I'll bring the stuff and we'll talk about
That'd
it.
Be awesome. We'll
do a big paranormal UFO podcast. You guys heard it here first. It's gonna happen.
Ooh, I'm gonna be part of that one.
Oh, you're definitely gonna be a part of it. I got you.
See, I'm obsessed with like serial killers.
Oh yeah, my sister is too.
I love that.
So, what is up with women and fucking serial killers?
Dude, I don't know. Like, just if something ever happens and I'm like just disappear.
OJ.
Right.
Oh, okay. So, my next big question is going back to religion, spirituality.
Okay.
Is what happens after death? You know, and this also ties in with aliens as well. So if we die, right, is our soul exclusive to humans? Or if there is a reincarnation, for example, could I be reincarnated into an alien?
I believe in reincarnation.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, could I be reincarnated into an alien? Or is it exclusive to what is on Earth? What is where we were originated from?
You know, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
My thoughts on that would probably. I believe in reincarnation. I actually have a story about reincarnation. When I was a little boy, 3, 4, just being able to talk age. My mom's told me this story plenty of times. So, I was sitting on at the table with her. We're all eating and stuff, and I'm just starting to talk about my past life and how I was in some sort of accident, and I described. Everything. Like I got on this fence, and I was like sitting on this fence, and I had a gun, and I pointed the gun right to my eye, and I shot myself, and that's the last thing I remember.
Wow.
And that was when I was like a little guy.
Yeah.
How would I know what the hell any of that meant?
And they say, when you're born, you have that soft spot on the back of your head. That's supposed to be the connection to your spiritual self. Your connection to the spirit realm. And when people talk about opening their third eye, it's not physically opening that again, but it's opening that channel.
Yeah, well, I believe...
And that's why they say, like, kids are more in tune with, like, spirits and all these kinds of things. And I also have a story about that. When I was 6 or 7 years old, you know that I have a lake house up on Seneca Lake.
Yeah.
My uncle also used to have a lake house on Seneca Lake. Okay. Literally, like... There was my grandmother's is right on the water, and then there's a little hill, like 100 feet away or 100 yards away, and then my uncle's lake house was up on top.
Okay.
And he had a waterfront property as well, but it was just a little thing. And I remember I was, like I said, 6 or 7 years old, and I was in the kitchen. It was a big, like, open floor plan, so like there was the kitchen here, and then there was like the fireplace over here, and there was a couch there, and then the stairs that went up, and the fireplace had coins from like the late 1800s, like embedded in the stone
foundation.
Yeah. And I remember I turned around, and there was this woman there, this black woman with tattered clothes on. And she looked like she was like a maid or something, but her clothes was all ripped up. I'm 6 or 7 years old. There's a black woman that I've never seen before in ripped up maid's clothes. Looked like she had just like gotten away from hell. I am freaked out.
I would be freaked out too, bro.
And ever since then, I have believed in ghosts.
And
I never saw that again. But there's when my uncle ended up selling the place, but almost every time I was up there was something weird going on. You'd hear creaks in the middle of the night when there's nobody awake. Stuff would fall that didn't make any sense. And that always stuck with me because I was 6 or 7 years old. What 6 or 7-year-old knows about slaves?
Yeah.
And
Right.
in enough detail that I could picture it and I can explain to you what she looked like.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
And like I said, ever since then, I have 100% firmly believed in ghosts. And when my grandfather passed away a few years ago, my grandmother and my grandfather, they had this clock, right? It was my grandmother's mother's, I guess. And the clock hadn't worked in years.
Okay.
It didn't spin or nothing. As soon as my grandfather died, the clock started chiming.
Wow.
another thing about that is my grandfather, he was in a band.
Mm-hmm.
He played bass in a band called Dice.
I love bass, man.
And he really loved the Beatles, right? And he passed to the very first Beatles song he had played with his band, his favorite song.
What was it, do you know?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Let it be, let it be.
it's just crazy, though, the things that happen, you know? And I definitely think that there's some sort of an afterlife. I have no doubt in my mind that there's some sort of an afterlife.
I believe that, too. And I also believe it has something to do with what your soul wants to do. Is your soul ready to rest? Is your soul craving more life? You know what I mean? And I don't feel like necessarily our consciousness can have a connection with our soul so much to where you could tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
But when you die, you lose connection with your consciousness.
Yeah.
And your soul. You know, it's its own.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, whatever it decides to do, man, if it wants to be done, if it thinks it's time, if it thinks like, you know, it's done good enough, you know, it's tired out, wants to lay down.
Yeah.
If not, hop in another
But
body.
the crazy thing with that, too, is like, what does that entail? You know, if your soul is done, does that mean it's it? Nothing? There's nothing else after that?
No, I don't believe so, because like I said, I believe in God. So I believe that, like, I believe once your soul is ready, and maybe it's not depending on if your soul is ready. Maybe God gives you time. Maybe God grants you time. Maybe you messed up. Maybe, you know, your soul goes pleading.
Yeah.
When you go to the gates of heaven to decide if you're going to hell or heaven.
Yeah.
Maybe you know, I don't really know.
And, you know, like I had said before, with physics, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. What's here is here. So if you think of your soul as energy, which is basically what it is, it just doesn't go nowhere. It goes somewhere, but it's not like it gets destroyed. You know,
I think souls have a connection to a different place, not
a different realm.
Exactly.
You know, people have been talking about Jupiter and Saturn aligning, and it was bringing the world from 3D to 5D. The spiritual realm is getting ever so closer. If you believe in that, or if you don't believe in that, but yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Shoot, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
My bad.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, nobody knows, I guess, but I want to believe that after death, you know, there's the pearly gates and you get to see all your friends and family. But if reincarnation is a thing, how many families have you had? And you don't even know them anymore.
This is true.
You know, that's sad.
But I do feel like though you lose consciousness, your soul holds on to some of that. Your soul holds on to other souls. You know what I mean? So I believe that you'll have that connection even if you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like, you know, how some people feel that like they're connected with random people. Like, that's your soulmate. You know what I mean? Like, your souls have been waiting forever and ever to see each other again, and they finally met up and it clicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy to theorize about this kind of stuff, you know?
And that's all it is, really.
Yeah, because we won't know until it happens.
Don't know.
We don't know until it happens.
I'm not saying...
And when it happens, we might not even realize it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the crazy part about all this, man.
Yeah.
We're just here for the ride, bro.
We're here for the ride.
Yeah.
Have a good time and pay our dues, you know?
For sure.
But let's move on. Let's go to the Christmas now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. So moving on, let's talk about Christmas traditions. Do you have any personal Christmas traditions that you partake in?
Yeah, at my dad's house, my dad and stepmom's house, we do this. I wasn't here for it this year, sadly, but normally we do this game. It's called a Saran Wrap game, where we get a whole bunch of things like lotto tickets, you know, little shooters, and sometimes cash, just some fun stuff, and we wrap it all up in a ball, in a Saran Wrap ball, and you sit in a circle around the table, and the person to the left of you has some dice. The person with the ball has oven mitts. Mm-hmm. And the person to the left of you is trying to roll doubles. while they're trying to roll doubles, you just tear at it, but you have to have the oven mitts on.
Yeah.
So it's real hard, but you're just going at it as best as you can. You can't use teeth. That's a rule we made up like the first year we started it because people were cheating.
Yeah.
But once they roll doubles, it automatically just keeps going to the left, until, whoever got the last thing, and then y'all pocket what you got.
Yeah. So do you do it in like layers?
Oh, yeah. I never was there for whenever they actually put the ball together, but that's what I'm guessing is they just put a whole bunch of different things in layers and just kept layering it on and on and on and on. Yeah. It'd be like a size of a basketball though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it gets really big.
Oh, yeah.
How many rolls do you think that takes?
To get doubles?
To roll, like to actually get the ball.
It? Ooh, shit. I couldn't tell you, bro. Yeah. I don't remember.
You need to get one of those big saran wraps we got at the beef.
Right? Oh, yeah. Those, 350 feeters.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. Yeah. Super huge.
Yeah.
So, obviously, that has changed this year. You weren't here for that, being a ways away. Right. But you talked to me earlier about breakfast.
Oh, yeah. We have a special breakfast we do.
Yeah.
Poached eggs on toast, man. And, I was skeptical at first. I was like, oh, what is a poached egg? I never knew what a poached egg was. Do you know what a poached egg is?
Yeah, it's runny, right?
Oh, it's like...
you got to boil it.
Yeah, you boil some water, and then you cook it in the boiled water. So, it's runny.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, man, I don't know. This don't even sound good. And then I believe my stepbrother, Justin, was like, man, it's good. Just eat it. Yeah. And I put a little salt, a little pepper on that thing, and it's good.
Pop her open.
Mm-hmm. I had 2 or 3.
Yeah?
Yeah. Put a little bit of Frank's Red Hot on, man.
The only egg I eat is either an omelet or scrambled eggs or something.
I'm like that too for the most part, but with that it's different, man. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just different.
You ever had Eggs Benedict?
No.
It's kind of the same idea. It's over easy egg and toast or whatever. I've never had it, but my dad's friend Mike, he makes them for everybody up at the Blues Fest when we go.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So I'm never awake for it though. So it'd be like that though. Do you have any good memories from Christmas? Any good stories?
Oh man.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them.
Are you a Charlie Brown guy?
No. I'm not a real classic guy.
Yeah.
I'm more of a 2000s baby guy.
Yeah.
I like Jim Carrey's The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Oh, Grace hates that movie. I love
Christmas.
It too.
That's one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies, and I'll watch it in July.
Yeah.
A Christmas Story. Don't shoot your eye out, kid. I love it. That was always a tradition. At my family's house when we were all still together. We'd always watch that, the 24-hour.
Yeah, actually, that's funny you say that. My dad watches it every single year.
I love that movie. Yeah, that's a classic. See, I lied. That's a classic that I like. What's another one? Shoot, I don't know.
Die Hard.
It's not a Christmas movie.
You're not a Die Hard Christmas guy? No. You don't think it's a Christmas movie?
I'm not into crazy movies like that, man. Even John Wick I was into a little bit, but I'm just not a big fan.
You're not an action kind of guy?
I mean, it depends on the action, bro. If you consider Harry Potter action, I love action.
What do you like superhero movies?
Yes and no. Yeah. Yes and no.
Are you a Star Wars guy?
No.
Oh.
It's
how are we even fucking friends, dude? That hurts me at my soul.
The
new Star Wars movie, I'll give you the new ones. I'll give you credit. They fucking suck.
Every time I go to the movies with Paige to watch them when they first came out, like Rogue One, it's about 30 minutes in, and I'm just like, yo, is this gonna start? When is this movie?
When's
gonna
the
start?
action happening?
Yeah, and I'm just like,
have you ever seen the original ones though? Because I will say the new ones, the action in them is nothing.
Are you talking about the original?
Marvel. He falls asleep during Marvel.
No, I fall asleep during. Nuh-uh.
Bullshit.
What Marvel movie did I fall asleep in?
The Avengers movies we went to go see.
Okay.
Oh, how could you fall asleep in an Avengers movie?
All of them. We went to go
Bro,
see.
we used to go to some late ass movies.
Yeah, you got that. That's fair. We had some late nights in general.
Oh yeah, man.
I wish we could share
Me too.
the things that
I really
happened
do.
in our high school days and before you left, but
Not age appropriate.
not age appropriate. So, I mean, we've definitely covered a lot on this podcast. My last thing I want to say is, do you have any plans for next year? What are your goals for next year, and what do you plan on doing next year?
Man, really, I haven't even started any goals for next year. I succeeded this year's goal. This was probably one of the worst years for the entire world, but you know, I didn't think of it that way, and I think it was a very positive year for me.
Mm-hmm.
I do have more goals and inspirations, but I'm just right now I'm kind of just self-loathing and the
Appreciate what you got.
yeah
And
I'm just kind of trying to get through the rest of this year.
yeah. That's a good way to go about it. Take it day by day, I'm really the same. I don't have many big plans. I'm keeping what I'm doing now. I want to get the podcast more popular.
Dude, I
share
love
it with
this
people.
thing you got going on. When you told me you wanted to start this, bro, I was so excited. I was
Yeah.
the first day you told me, I was like, so when's my episode?
Yeah. And dude, there's going to be more. There's definitely going to be more together. Like literally, we will do it when I come down.
I love this idea, man. And
It's great. I really hope that people can appreciate what we're doing here and start following us and giving us support, because I want to move on to doing like apparel and stuff, doing t-shirts and hats, and I think that'd be really cool. But
would be dope.
we need to have following first, you know?
Right, yeah, you got to build up a market.
Exactly.
And with you doing this, man, I'm just really excited, bro.
Thank
I really
you.
think it's good for you. Like, you have a great personality to do something like this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have very strong opinions, and
Yeah.
and it's not overpowering. It's not shoving it down your throat. It's not.
Yeah.
If you don't think this way, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's this is how I feel. How do you feel?
Exactly. I don't want to. That's the problem with today, that society today, is you can't express your own opinions without feeling like you're going to be attacked. Either side.
Right.
Republican, Democrat,
Right.
if you believe in,
And
if you think Chevy is a better car manufacturer than Ford, you're going to get hate no matter what you do.
Real quick, I kind of want to go back to, because you just involved something I wanted to talk about earlier, but I didn't want to involve.
Oh, you're good.
Politics.
Yeah.
I believe politics and religion mix, and that shouldn't happen.
I agree.
And a connection with God, that should not be a thing. I don't want to get into a politics talk.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to lay that out there.
Yeah.
That politics and religion mix, and they shouldn't be. They're like oil and water.
Yeah.
But that's all I really want to say about that.
Oh, you're good. But, yeah, I mean, thank you for coming on, Doug.
Awesome.
I mean, I cannot
Thank
wait
you,
for
bro.
our next episode together.
Me neither.
You, me, we'll have Paige, we'll have Grace on. It'll be a good episode. And then I'll actually get to see your guys' new place, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be dope.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Come see the kid.
Come see my man Zero.
Facts, bro.
I can't wait. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. What is this, 5? Episode
Yeah, I believe so,
5
5,
with
yeah.
Doug Donnelly.
Hell yeah, guys.
Thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Peace.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We